stay present in that. Obviously, it's
Right.
it's most exciting because at the end of it is a baby, a new member of our family, like something that we created through our love, which is just incredible.
Hey C-Fam, and welcome back to another video.
I'm Mayfair.
And I'm Winston, and we are
The
Clements. We've got our drinks as well.
Yes, you guys can probably already guess what we're drinking.
Low fat venti, extra syrup, extra whipped cream, 12 pumps of sugar, vanilla macchiato.
Good old Dower.
Yep.
Especially good for these colder months. So yeah, I feel like I've spoken about it so many times in the videos. And if you want to find out how to actually make it, you can go to my Instagram. There'll be a little screenshot here, but super simple. Make sure you get you some of this because ain't nobody trying to get ill.
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to fight away the germs.
Gotta have that garlic, that lemon,
Ginger,
that ginger mix.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be drinking during this video. And if you want to, make sure you grab a cup of tea as well, or a glass of wine, like whatever you're drinking, grab a drink because it's going to be like a nice little sit down video, kind of just telling you how the second trimester has been. I can't quite believe that we are at the end of the second trimester. Like it literally just feels like we announced the pregnancy,
Yeah.
which was kind of like the end of the first trimester, beginning of the second trimester. So
Definitely
yeah,
feels a lot more real now.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, this video is just going to be kind of telling you guys how it was for us, hoping that it can be useful for other people who are pregnant or planning to have kids, so you can kind of just, I think every pregnancy is so different, so obviously don't take what we're saying as gospel that this will be your experience, but maybe it'll help you to feel a bit more prepared. I know like before each trimester I love kind of watching videos like this, so I know, okay, here's what to expect. And then also like from, you know, a husband or a partner standpoint as well, what it's like. So got my phone here. If you see us looking down, it's just because we've got a couple of notes to make sure we kind of
Stay
cover
on track.
everything. So I guess the first thing is symptoms. What were the symptoms like in the second trimester? So I think,
Would you say they were less severe?
yes
Or
and no.
different?
Different. So I think the first trimester is, I didn't feel like myself throughout physically, as in I felt tired, I was sick like most days.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I never had to go to the hospital for anything,
Yeah.
you know, or anything like that. Second trimester definitely been better, like in terms of energy. I only feel like now, as I'm getting a bit bigger and as we're kind of like, you know, coming out of the, well, in the third trimester, I'm kind of getting more tired now, but I still have way more energy than I did like in my first trimester. Even like stuff like sorting out stuff around the house, like being able to cook dinner. In my first trimester, I love cooking, but it was so hard like to do and to maintain. There were so many times we just had to like eat out or whatever it was. So I've still been able to do that, but I would say in terms of symptoms, I still have had some, I guess you'd call it like morning sickness, which
Yeah.
I kind of was really hopeful that would kind of like finish in the first trimester.
Yeah.
Again, definitely hasn't been as frequent as the first trimester, but I noticed like kind of later in the second trimester, I started to get just, yeah, like more sickness. There was one time actually, but this was a stomach bug, so I didn't think it was like normal morning sickness. I got a stomach bug, which was really scary because, you know, anytime you have like, I literally had like terrible stomach cramps, and anytime you're pregnant and you get cramps, it can just be, you know, scary. But thankfully everything was fine. There was no bleeding. Baby was checked and baby was fine. It just was a bug that I kind of just needed to get over.
Yeah, I think that one was scary because it kind of felt like there was no end to it. Because we woke up in the morning and, you know, you were having a bit of cramping, a bit of backache, and then the sickness started.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, with sickness, you always think, okay, I might throw up, you know, 2-3 times, and then it's all out of your system.
Yeah.
But then this one kind of just felt like it kept going.
It kept going,
to the point where you had nothing inside.
Literally, because I think usually, like, when it's morning sickness, for me anyway, like, I'll throw up once, give myself a couple of minutes, and then I'm able to, like, get some food down me, even if it's something mild.
Yeah.
or at least some water. But with this, like, I couldn't keep anything down, not even water. So that was scary because obviously, like, being dehydrated isn't good at any point, but especially during pregnancy. But honestly, just so grateful to God that it was completely fine and it turned out just to be a stomach bug. And even outside of that, like, I've had like some points of just like sickness again, like projectile vomiting, like I did in my first trimester. And I think kind of going back to, because for me, I used to be the kind of person who I don't need to eat first thing in the morning. I could literally have like a cup of tea, cup of coffee, even work out. Like I used to work out before having anything to eat, and that'd be fine. But pregnancy has really taught me like that ain't gonna work. I had a period in my second trimester where I was feeling better in the mornings, and almost I just wouldn't think about it until a bit later in the day. But again, now my body like keeps telling me like, no, like first thing in the morning, like have something to eat.
So baby says, where is my breakfast?
Listen, like, so that's one thing. So yeah, sickness. I've also been getting just more lightheaded as well, which I heard is something that can kind of happen as you kind of start to tail off into your second trimester. Just kind of like more lightheaded and just needing to sit down at some points and kind of take it slower.
Is that random, or is that when you feel like you haven't eaten enough?
Definitely when I haven't eaten enough, but sometimes it just be random. Even now, guys, like I feel kind of like lightheaded.
Oh,
I'm
good.
fine. Not lightheaded like I could faint, more just lightheaded like almost like a slight headache that I just feel more comfortable with being sat down. Which I heard can happen just because of like the blood sugar, like all of that. What other things? Braxton hicks, also experienced those. Well, I think it's Braxton hicks. I was kind of trying to read up on them. Like a lot of people call them like practice contractions. But from what I was reading, like they're not as severe as contractions, and they definitely don't feel as severe as contractions for me. The only way I can describe it is like a...
For a few seconds,
yeah, it's like my like stomach will like tighten up and then release, and it goes like as almost as quickly as it comes. But I guess that's been... I haven't found it painful at all. It's just interesting because I'm like, oh my gosh, like is this like kind of what labour's gonna feel like?
Yeah.
So that's been interesting. What else?
I think also just when you're doing stuff around the house, you know, things that maybe you take for granted usually, like bending or like even getting up out of bed or like off a sofa.
Yeah,
I feel like you're having to. you have to plan it.
Literally, like the other day, I was like taking out laundry, and usually I can just bend like straight over and take out the laundry. But I was like, oh no, there's something there. So I'm like kind of at that stage where I have to do like the squat and bend. You
have to get up in like 3 stages.
Oh, honestly, and going to the toilet, like that's another thing. Like I need to pee more often, and at night as well. I probably get up like at least 3 times a night. And you're a light sleeper, so I feel like I wake you up as well.
Yeah, I hear you get up and I'm like, maybe I should go pee.
Maybe I'll just go as well. But that's a good sign because it means when the baby's here, hopefully the light sleeping will continue and we can happily share the load with taking care of the little one at night. What else did I write down in terms of like symptoms? That's mainly it, like in terms of like the physical symptoms. Just kind of less mobility, the lightheadedness, and then also just like continued sickness. Aside from that, I guess I've had more energy, but we're kind of going to talk next about what are the things that we've enjoyed about the second trimester, because pregnancy, it really is a beautiful experience, and we've really been trying to just stay present in that. Obviously, it's most exciting because at the end of it is a baby, a new member of our family, like something that we created through our love, which is just incredible. But in itself, like I think the journey of pregnancy is really beautiful despite the other things. So yeah, for you, what have been kind of like some of the positives of the second trimester, or things that you've enjoyed?
It's all been great for me, actually.
Has it? Love that.
Yeah. And I think some of those things that you just talked about, maybe, you know, manifesting because the baby is starting to get bigger.
Yeah.
So, you know, being less mobile, or, you know, like needing to pee more often is because the baby is growing, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think, in terms of things that are positive, also because the baby is growing, for me, like, it's been really good, like, really exciting to feel more of the kicking.
Yes.
Because you've been feeling the kicking for a while.
I think I first
maybe
felt
2
them at
months
like
ago.
14 weeks.
Yeah.
They weren't consistent now like that every day, but at first 14 weeks was when I first felt them.
Okay, so that's like, maybe 8-10 weeks ago.
A while. Yeah.
And I think I felt a kick like maybe a month ago, the first one. But it was a bit of a flutter
Yeah.
more than a kick. Yeah, but I think, recently, I mean, you can see it.
Usually, like when I get my camera out, baby will just get like super shy and like won't do it. But I managed to capture it on camera.
So for me, that's been like amazing to see.
Yeah.
Because I think pregnancy in a way can feel like something that is mostly experienced by the one who is carrying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's helped me feel a bit more connected to our baby.
I think kind of being able to get more stuff prepared as well. Like literally, we're going to do an unboxing video. I think that might be the next video or the one after that we do of all of the stuff that you guys have, got us from the registry, which
it's eternally grateful, honestly.
Can't even describe it. Yeah, like obviously like you love like your child, but to know there's so many of you guys like who are watching, like who just want to extend that love to us as well. For me, like I'll never get over it, because like the Bible, it talks about how people are gonna know that you are my disciples by the way that you love one another. And love shows up. Like love allows itself to be inconvenienced, which you guys do not have to do. Like it's like your money, like your time going on the registry. So the fact that you guys have just been here for us like in a really real way, like just we always say this, but I genuinely feel like we have the most amazing and incredible community on the internet. And I know if you guys were here like in London, you would be offering to change nappies and nannying. So the fact that you guys are doing this, like we can't say how much it means enough. But yeah, I've I think we've enjoyed that, receiving stuff and being able to like physically prepare our space for this baby kind of makes it more real. Every time I see like the nappies on the side and start to prepare, it's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a little person in our space.
Yeah, that definitely adds another layer of realism to it.
Yeah,
because I think it's like initially, obviously you knew you were pregnant because you could feel stuff happening in your body, and then you started to show. So we could all notice that, hey, you know what, something's happening and there's a baby coming. And then now I think as we start putting things in place, preparing the space and the environment, that again takes it to another level of, like, somebody is really coming to this house.
Yeah, for real.
So that's been super cool.
Yeah, I think we mentioned about antenatal classes. We've got them booked. We haven't started them yet. I think we start them at the end of November. So we'll definitely try and document what we can of that as well, depending on permission, things like that.
What's allowed,
But yeah, even if we can't actually document, the birthing classes will definitely tell you how they are. But that's one thing that we're excited about.
Yeah, and we went for the group class as well. So I'm going to be able to attend and do all those cool things that people do. I've never been to them.
Neither have I.
Look, I'm here, baby. Y'all sound like a bag of snakes.
It's like, I don't know, I think it's like hypnobirthing. So it kind of focuses on breathing techniques, helping Winston to be a birthing partner.
Yeah.
All of that good stuff.
And I think at the start of the second try, I think you felt a bit of a boost of energy.
Yeah.
Because I think towards the beginning, like when you were having all the morning sickness and all that stuff, you were pretty tired most of the time, at the start of the pregnancy,
Super tired.
but you kind of regained your usual like balance in the second trimester.
And that's felt really good because I think with the energy, like it's just allowed me to do more stuff that fills you up. I can't even like first trimester, like I'd be lucky if I could do stuff like, you know, get my nails done or like do my hair like properly, like, and that's stuff that fills me up. Even cooking, like that fills me up, and I just didn't have the energy like
Fills
for
me
all
up.
of that. But yeah, like I just didn't have the energy for all of that. And you would think, okay, like resting would give you energy, but to me, to a point it does. But there's other stuff that fill me up as well. So I've enjoyed getting to do more stuff that really kind of fills me up.
You, yeah.
And I'm hoping the third trimester, I know there will be a bit more tiredness and I need to kind of slow down, but I'm hoping I can still do stuff that I enjoy and fills me up.
Of course, the bump growing. I think the bump has.
Yeah, that's been really cool.
Yeah. It's really grown.
It has. I wish, like, guys, like, I've seen some people do, like, you know, a picture each week. I haven't done that. Like,
Next baby.
Next baby. Okay, you're going to get a picture each week. And if you listen to this, future baby C here, it's not because, you know, I didn't want to capture the memories. I don't know, for so long,
Mommy and Daddy
I was
just
like,
forgot.
we just forgot, and there were so many weeks I was just like, I didn't see a difference. I didn't see a difference. It's only now that I feel like each week it's like, oh wow, okay, we're really growing. So
Yeah, and I think you can look back on the videos and see.
yeah, the growth.
Yeah, it's definitely been a staircase.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess
Those are some good positives.
we were going to talk about the emotions.
Oh yeah, how it's
stay
impacted
emotionally.
us. Yeah, emotionally, mentally.
Yeah. Being honest, like I think like pregnancy has been obviously like this is a journey that like I've never been on. So with that newness kind of it does like come with like some anxiety because I think we spoke about how in the first trimester you kind of have that fear of like miscarriage basically, and how that can kind of like cause a lot of anxiety, and you kind of make it through that and you're like, okay, we can breathe. But to be honest, every week that like the pregnancy goes well and I can feel baby kicking, I just have to thank God because it's a blessing.
Yeah.
But with that, yeah, like being honest, like I think emotionally, probably because of my hormones as well anyway, I'm more inclined to feeling a little bit more emotional or stressed.
Yeah.
But I have kind of felt that just moments of like just like worrying, like is the baby okay, like, and the closer that birth comes as well, and having to make decisions around, you know, what kind of birth that we want, trying to like maintain my peace during that as well has been another challenge. I read that it's quite common, but I did literally had a point where I was like having dreams of like the labor and the birth, and I'd just be like, okay, like that's intense. So yeah, like overall, like good, like there's been really, really like high moments, like feeling baby kick. I think it's bonded us, but gonna lie to you, like the pregnancy hormones are so real. Even for us, like I'm really grateful for my husband. Like you've just been so patient and so kind with me, and like just reminding me to take a break, or you know, okay babe, step away from doing all the research on birth or whatever and just do something nice. But I think we have had like, I say we've had like one like kind of like major argument that's been like a blow up, and for me it kind of came from a place of not even realizing like I was like worrying about certain things like the birth and things like that, because I think I'm quite an optimistic person, so I do genuinely find it hard to be like, wait, like I'm worrying about stuff because I'm just optimistic and I can keep functioning. But there was that point where I was just like, okay, this is a lot. And I think I ended up, sometimes it's easier to look at a surface issue, like, oh my gosh, you didn't do this, instead of like really like looking at what's going on. So yeah, overall good, but I'm not gonna lie, like the hormones have been real, the emotions have been real as well. Yeah, how have you found it?
Yeah, I think I can definitely relate to that, because the thoughts and the emotions of pregnancy, they are always there, right? Because until you have that child in your hands,
and even after that, like you like worry.
There can be a bit of an air of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I think with uncertainty, you know, your mind can pick up on something and just go into a bit of a rabbit hole with it. So I think even I've had those moments thinking about, how we're going to cope, for example, if we have a C-section, and just make sure that we're both, also mentally recharging ourselves. So I think all of those sorts have crossed my mind, and also trying to be reassuring to you as well. And I think one thing that's really helped us is, as those ideas and as those thoughts pop up, even just taking the time to express them to each other has been really useful, instead of, kind of holding on to things because you want to maintain a positive outlook, and then in 2 weeks or in a month's time, it comes out in a really strange way, because it's been bottled in. So I think just having basically extra check-ins with each other has been useful to just kind of release that pressure, and just create a space where, you don't have to feel positive all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think like honesty has just been something that's like helped us out a lot. So,
and praying.
Whew, I don't know how we would be able to do this like without God. And just there's that verse that has been my anchor. I think it's in Matthew 11:28, and it talks about, "Are you weary, carrying a heavy burden? Come to me, I will refresh you, for I am your oasis. Simply join your life with mine. Learn my ways and you'll discover that I am gentle, humble, easy to please. You will find refreshment and rest in me." That's actually the Passion Translation. Basically, like, the essence of that scripture is like, if you're worried, like if you're heavy laden, like, come to me and I'll give you rest. And I've held on to that word like so. We've held on to that word like so tightly that anytime there's a worry, like big or even like small, how are we gonna have enough space like for the baby? And I'm just like consciously like throughout the day, I give that to you, God. I give that to you, God. Because I think, the peace that God gives, like, it doesn't guarantee that there's not going to be like any problems or things that you're going to have to think about, decisions that you're going to have to make. But it allows you to make those, decisions from a place of peace. Like, it's so much easier for wisdom to flow when you're at peace. It's so much easier for grace to follow when you're at peace.
Yeah.
It's so much easier for, insight to follow, clarity, all of those things. But like, peace has just been the thing that we've been like, okay, cool, unless we're in a place where we can say we're anchored in peace, we're not moving, kind of thing.
Amen.
So that's been our anchor. But yeah, we've been good, guys. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us during this ongoing journey. I'm definitely gonna kind of share what we can as and when, we're going to keep sharing with you guys like the journey.
As always, yeah.
As always, so yeah.
And actually, for those of you who are in London, this is the week.
Oh, is it? I didn't know if it happened yet.
Yeah, so at the time of this video, it will be just a few days to our event.
Yes.
On the 6th of November. So if you're in the UK and can get to London, come and meet us, come and greet us, come take a photo.
Yes.
Hug us if you're comfortable doing that. We'll post the link in the description. We would love, love, love to meet as many of you as possible.
Yes, it would be amazing. So hopefully see you guys there. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great evening, morning, weekend, whatever time you're watching this. Have a great one of those.
God bless.